doing assessment criteria 1.3 of LO1. Let's start with it. Analyze the strengths and limitations of the sources of information that can be used for strategic decision making. Now here, we have to focus on the command web description, but with that, whatever the requirement is in the description, you are going to work on the strengths and limitations as well. So it's going to be a bit technical, but I hope you will be able to handle it when you will be doing the assignment specific class for it. That's task one. And if you remember, we did the course Managing Information and Knowledge. I hope you remember.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So it's the points are going to be same, more and less, but few of the things are going to be different. So we are going to discuss that. Break the subject or complex situations into separate parts and examine each part in detail. Identify the main issues and show how the main ideas are related to practice and why they are important. Reference to current research or theory may support the analysis as well. So this is, you are going to focus about the question and then working on the strengths and limitations as well. In strategic decision making, SMEs or the small medium enterprises rely on various sources of information. Now, I could write here organizations as well, but because we have to link our lecture with small medium enterprises, this is the reason I made it accordingly. To navigate the opportunities, managing risk, and enhance competitive advantage. So these are the three elements which we are going to focus. First, we're not going to stick with one opportunity or with one decision. We have to see what are the best possible opportunities for us. Then we have to manage and mitigate both the risks as well. And competitive advantage. We need to increase our innovative and brainstorming, creative thinking, analytical skills. The first point is process-driven versus intuition-driven approaches. Now, these are the terms and terminologies which we use in our daily lives as well, like intuition, what you are feeling, what is your thought, what is your creativity. We are working on a project, but what is your say in it? That's what intuition is. Let's start with the process-driven information. This involves using structured, data-driven methods like financial reports, consumer surveys, performance metrics, which provide quantitative data. Now, process-driven means the information which is in front of you is in front of you by a process, by a certain step, which needs to be followed. First is data-driven methods. First is financial reports, including all the income statement, balance sheet, cash flows. Consumer surveys, which we grab from the people to know or upgrade or to make betterments, improvements in the existing products. Performance metrics, KPIs, what the people, employees are performing, how they are performing, and then we reward them. And these are actually intellectually quantitative data in which we actually measure the quantities. The strengths.
Ma'am, sorry, ma'am, can you repeat once again? I actually didn't understand.
What actually you did not understand, I can repeat that.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, I will tell you. It's like, as you mentioned here, which is process-driven information is like something, the process which is in front of us. Is it like completely about completely full of information or just like submitting reports or anything? Because it's given process-driven information, like we have to like
It's like
give us
having a whole element for the information. First, you grasp the primary resource and work on it, and then you can work on further categories of it. That is what process-driven information is. You want to find, like I gave you a task on sustainability, SDGs, if you remember, to do the research on any one of the goals out of 17. So what you did, you actually did the process-driven information out of already taken out information which was placed on the internet. Clear?
Yes, now it's clear.
All right. We have strengths in it, reliable, objective, and often verifiable, making it useful for budgeting, sales forecasting, and operational planning. So process-driven information is mainly used for those things in which we have to do planning. But first, before doing the planning or before assuming or making up a chart or any information, we have to go for information. Once we have the information, enough data for it, then we can proceed further. For example, a Canadian SME like Peace by Chocolate, this is a family-owned chocolate maker in Nova Scotia uses monthly sales and cost reports to make decisions on inventory and production schedules. Now, this is a real example which exists in Nova Scotia, a state in Canada, where they are working on board. They are working on the sales and the cost, which is based on the report, so that they can come up with the improvement when they are going for the production schedule. Because this is small business, they cannot always make in bulk. You think that there is a season of Christmas going on, so they can make certain amount of chocolates or for the birthday party order or any wedding event. Limitations, however, can lack flexibility and may miss out on unquantifiable or quantifiable factors like emerging trends or consumer sentiment. Unquantifiable means you cannot measure. You can only see, but you cannot measure in numbers. Why? Because first, it's an emerging trend. When there is a trend going on, you cannot measure it, but you can only apply to it, or you can make improvements in it, or you can like changes, do a little bit changes in it. Then consumer sentiment, whether things which are you people are making as a business owner, they are attached to the sentiments of the people who them or not. Like sometimes, um, if I start a business of doing saris and Indian dresses specifically, the men and women both wear, that's not going to be successful in Pakistan. People are not going to buy that because we basically rely on mainstream dresses, usually shalwar kameez. So that is what the consumer sentiment is. Intuition driven
Like their
information.
choice.
Yeah. Sorry.
Like their choice,
Yeah,
like
by
consumer
their
sentiments
choice.
like their choice.
Like I can
Yeah.
give you another example as well. Like in McDonald's, we have aloo tikki burger and paneer burger in India. But in Pakistan,
Yes.
we do not have it. It's a process driven information that people like it. So we are going to produce it. And it's
Hmm.
attached to the sentiment as well. Just intuition driven information refers to the insights of the decisions made based on the person's experience, instincts, and the judgment. Rather than on the structured data or the formal analysis, this approach relies on the individual's gut feeling or the sense. This is what intuition is, what you're feeling. We are always have an intuition that this is going to happen or this may not happen. We have some instinct with us. This is what it is. Right course of action might be often drawing and accumulated in knowledge and patterns recognized from the past experiences. Maybe you had a very nice experience at the zip line, and this time you are again very pumped up that it's going to be an excellent one. I enjoyed a lot, and you are forcing your fellow beings as well. So it's your intuition. In a business context, intuition driven information is often seen in situations where the data may be incomplete or where the quick decisions are necessary. Sometimes you have to take very fast decisions, quick decisions, and you cannot wait for a further or a big meetings to be held on, like AGMs. So at that time, what you do is we think that we should do the investment. So we are doing the investment. It's like that. Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this was just a definition. Here the point starts from lecture slide 9. It relies on the subjective insights from the experience, judgment, and gut feeling. The strength is highly adaptable, especially in the fast-changing environment faced by the chocolate founder. Again, the same example of the Nova Scotia. Uh, may use intuition to decide on launching a new product flavor based on the feedback from the community events, like the viral Dubai chocolate. Literally, it's so viral, everyone has started a business out of it. With the
Yes,
Kanapa
ma'am.
chocolate, with the solid caramel, and now I don't know what's going on. They have started the
Dubai
desserts as
Fried
well.
chocolate is getting viral all over the world right now, giving
Yeah,
reviews.
they are even
Recently,
ahead
just
out of that
recently.
chocolate. They're building,
Hmm.
like, they're making cakes now, they're working on the smoothies and so many stuff. But the people, it's getting viral, they're still on the chocolate based on the kunafa and stuff with the pistachio. But the
Yes.
thing with diffusion is it spreads like a fire. However, it may introduce biases and errors, as decisions are not always based on the measurable data, which can increase risk. Because you are taking it at stance, you are not waiting at all, you are taking it urgently, a decision. So there are risks associated as well. Maybe it's not a good option. We are taking a decision at this stance, but we have to. So we need to pair up with the problems. Number two, systems thinking versus soft systems thinking. Let's start with the hard one. It focuses on the measurable elements like production rate, that is, if I'm gonna produce 100 batch or 100 units in one batch of chocolate, what will be my rate in the production or producing it? Cash flow. Cash inflow should always be high and outflow should be less. Market share. When you are listed at the stock exchange, you are having a share as well. So you need to be always in topper ranks. Helping infrastructure problem solving. If you're having a problem, your team is quite excellent in handling every situation way too firmly. Strengths are effective in analyzing the clear quantitative outcomes. For example, Mama Earth Organics, a Canadian SME that delivers organic produce, can use hard systems thinking to optimize the delivery routes to reduce the cost. Because they are based,
Ma'am,
yes,
sorry to interrupt you. Mama Earth is actually in Canadian SMEs?
yeah, it's a Canadian SME, organics, not the
Oh,
Mama Earth.
because
It is in
because
India
we
as
see,
well, but this is Mama Earth
yeah,
Organics.
organics. Okay, because we often see the ads of Mama Earth, so I was
Yeah.
thinking it's like
Yeah.
Indian. So
In Indian ads, we have only Mama Earth, but this SME
yeah,
is
Mama.
Mama Earth Organics. So only one word different, but the main essence is same. They are working on those organic products for us. Okay. However, limited in addressing complex human-centered challenges like consumer satisfaction or employee morale, which ultimately are harder to quantify. Why? Because you cannot measure the morale, motivation factor of an individual. Is it measurable? No, it's not. You can only judge, you can only assume. You can give them incentives when they work excellently. Otherwise, they just leave the organization. Soft systems thinking. Look at human factors like culture, relationships, perceptions, often using interviews and qualitative surveys. Just like we are having different people in one organization from different backgrounds and culture. They're having relationships as well. Sometimes your sister is at upper level and your brother is not at that level because of the education and skills. Sometimes it's vice versa as well. Perception. What is your thought? What is your vision about an XYZ person? Sometimes the CGPA is not excellent of a person of an XYZ person in a CV, but the person who is taking your interview, they hire you because they see the potential. They have some instinct with you. They have some soft part in you that no, he or she is going to work hard and achieve that specific goal. Because when you're working in the corporate sector, first you are always given projects. When you excel in those projects, then you are able to pursue with that organization. Strength, useful in understanding complex, subjective aspect of the business. Mama Earth Organics can use it to the improve consumer service by analyzing the consumer feedback. Because it's an SME and they are solely based on the feedbacks of the consumer, so each and every instinct is very important for them. If they're not happy with any of the products, they are going to update it or they're going to improve it or simply escalate it. However, lacks quantitative metrics, making it harder to measure the outcomes precisely, which can hinder its effectiveness in more technical areas like production optimization. Why it is always difficult, a production optimization in soft system thinking, because we are based on cultural ethnicity and the perceptions of the people, the opinions. Productions are not based on the opinions, they are not based on the culture. If it is required to make 2000 units, you have to produce it on daily basis, whether it is sold out or not. Clear? Closed versus open creative thinking. Let's start with the closed one. Structured, analytical, problem focused. It's often used to improve efficiency or the cut cost. Now, closed thinking is when you have to analyze, you have to think, you have the ability to visualize those things which are going to be structural based. There are certain steps associated with it. These are not general questions or general thinking, they're based on some procedure. Why we do that? Because we are focusing on improving the efficiency, that is, reducing the cost and being more productive with or cutting the cost, that is, reducing the expenditures on the daily basis. Strengths are drives efficient problem solving, ideal for optimizing processes. For example, Sandhya Gruber's an SME in Canada. Cannabis industries use close thinking to streamline cultivation process for the cost efficiency. Now, this is again an SME based in Canada, and they're working on the cannabis industry. It's an example, so we bear with it. What they are working on, they're working on the efficacy and the efficiency of cost cutting. Because when you're reducing the cost, ultimately you're booming up with the profit maximization. And some organizations give you commissions on that basis. Limitation restrictive. Why restrictive? Because the main goal is cost cutting, as it may prevent exploration of the innovative solutions. In Sandhyal's case, close thinking alone might limit the exploration of the novel product lines, that you cannot produce new products, innovative products, and new thinking because you are eliminating the factor of innovation, creativity in it, in the close thinking. Let's read about open thinking. It encourages brainstorming. See, I'm going to ask you the questions. You're going to tell me out of the box things, ideas. They must be innovative, they must be creative, excellent, very new. In the conventional ideas without immediate constraint. That is, I'll give you the time, just like Google do. They have Google 20 something policy. I'm just forgetting up the name. In that, they work on the creativity of each and every employee, whatsoever you like. If you like painting, if you like playing up a piano, a guitar, or singing, you can do that. Strength. Foster innovation and adaptability useful for the product development for entering the new markets. So they all could also use thinking, open thinking to explore diversified product forms like edibles. Now, you have seen in the close, they are not working on the innovation factor. However, when we are working on the open creative thinking, we are working on the factor of innovation. We are going to have diversification, that is, a whole conglomeration, a field in the business, where just like we do merger and acquisition, we acquire another business, we take over another business, we do diversification as well. I'm making perfumes, I'm making products which are based or which are organics, and I have a whole category out of it. However, may lead to impractical ideas if not tempered with structured analysis, possibly wasting resources if ideas aren't feasible. So, whenever you are going to appoint people and pinpoint in a meeting, they should be excellent. They should have a good record in the past that they have come up or came up with something new in the past too. Like when you want to do a job, a research job into different companies, they see your research proposals, your thesis. Sometimes we have done secondary research. Sometimes we have done the new researches as well. So you're going to select it on that basis. Strategic fit of information sources. Strategic fit refers to how well the information aligns with the company's goals, resources, and market positioning. Strategic fit is, it could be a person, it could be any project, it could be any decision, it could be the raw materials as well, or any call that investment. We have to align that with the goals of organization, objectives of the organization, mission statement, resources. Are we having enough resources or not? With that, where do we rank? Strength ensures that information used in the decision making is relevant and actionable. 10.3, a Canadian SME focused on the sustainable clothing ensures strategic fit by focusing on the eco-friendly or eco-conscious market data that aligns with its brand mission. Maybe they're working on the recycled material out of whatever they have, and they're making the clothes out of it. However, their focus on fit, that is the dresses, may overlook disruptive opportunities. Relying too closely on eco-focused market data could mean Tate 3 misses out on the broader fashion trends that don't initially seem sustainable. Again, this is all related to sustainability and the factor in which they could be used for a further longer period of time. But here, when we're only focused on some goal, that is sustainable dressing, corporate, social, environment friendly decisions, then we are neglecting other factors as well. Because our main ultimate goal goes to the sustainability. Maybe we are not fitting up with the environment, with the likings, with the industry standards. But again, we are going to be successful one day. This is the main reason the initial profits are low in the start. Once you are hit in the market, the profits boom. Then we have adding value to the decision making processes. Now we always take decisions in the organization. Sometimes it's strategic, sometimes they're quite urgent ones, sometimes they're the lenient one. They have a process, they have a certain criteria through which we do it. And when we add value, we upgrade them. Adding value means enhancing the quality, relevance, and impact of the decisions. This means I'm going to invest 50,000 in an XYZ project. I have only given a statement. Adding value means how I'm going to invest in it, why I'm investing in it, what will be my return, what will be my say in it, whether the product in which I'm investing or the project, is it going to be excellent? Is it going to fail? There are so many chances and questions associated with it. Just like we made a normal chair, a chair from the wood, it gets polished. We do deco paint on it. We always, not always, sometimes go ahead with the velvet pushing and stuff like that. Wall paints as well, vintages too. What we're doing, we're only adding value to a piece of wood which is just crafted. That is what adding value to decision making is. Strengths using diverse sources can provide a comprehensive understanding and improve the quality of the decisions. A Canadian SME like I could be a small thermostat producer. I hope you people know that what it is. We check the temperature out of it. You can add to decision as well. Might combine market data with the consumer insights, adding value by understanding both demand and the user experience. Because we always produce on the basis of the consumer demand. If it's a hit, it's meant by the consumers, we're going to produce it with whatever the price is. However, if too many sources are used, sources, raw material, the process may become complex and time consuming. If it can be achieved with the simpler tools and techniques, why to make it technical? If we're making it or if we're doing it, then it is going to be difficult for us to say the price as well and it's time taking too. Echo-based extensive data analysis analysis could delay quick responses to new market trends, impacting the agility. What it is, you are still at the old technique. Things are getting advanced, they're changing at a very higher pace. So you're going to lag. Maybe you're going to soon kick out of the market, maybe not. It depends. But it is very, very a good thing, a good opportunity to always be with the trends of the market, with the industry norms, if you really want to strive and be successful in the industries in the market. Canadian SMEs can effectively leverage both process-driven and intuition-driven information process through a proper procedure, intuition, what you feel, your gut feeling, your instincts, hard and soft system thinking, open and closed creative thinking to improve decision making. For example, combining hard metrics like cost data, the one which incurs the cost, money, with soft insights like employee feedback. What the employees, any questions?
No, ma'am, no questions.
A friend, all right. Um, I was on the second bullet point. Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Like employee feedback. Why we have linked the cost data with employee feedback? Because when we are going to have the feedback from the employees, they are associated with the consumers, they are associated with the product by themselves, with the different department people as well. They have a group. So we are enabling with the cost data as well. Sometimes cost gets reduced. We can do that, but sometimes employees are not happy to reduce the cost. It happens like they feel like if the expenditure is going on, it is the headache of board of members and the directors. It's not our headache. We're only getting our pay, so we need to work only for that work which is designated to us. As seen in the
Ma'am,
past, yeah. Hmm?
hard metrics is known for the like cost data. Like hard metrics is like it's very difficult to quite difficult to revealing or quite difficult to reduce difficult to increase the cost.
Not increase the cost, to just like cut down
Cut down.
everything. Yeah. Because it's not easy to reduce the cost.
No,
It is
obviously
only
not.
easy to reduce the cost when you attach strange benefits or incentives to it, some benefit to it. If you are saying that if you're going to reduce the cost, that is expenditure in the organization, by 10% or by 20%, then definitely you must be have said to them that I'll be or we will be giving you some tea party, not a tea party, obviously, a kind of a commission, a small commission. However, it is essential to balance the structured data with the flexibility, making sure the information used aligns with the strategic fit and adds real value to the decision making without overwhelming the process. So, what it is, the decisions are going on in the daily lives, but if we add value, we add importance, we have some strengths to it, that is associated benefits, then definitely it could be a hit. Otherwise, it could cause a problem to the organization and to the people. Because if the peoples are not happy, the consumer of that product, they could complain, they could have bad ratings on your app or applications or what do we have called websites, social media applications, and so on. So it's going to have an adverse effect. That's it. We're done with today's lecture. Any problem, any question, you may ask me right now.
No, ma'am, no question at this point. Quite
All
clear.
right, that's great. And
So, ma'am, my question is about the analysis. Can you explain once again about the analyze? Analysis is like for do we have to
command
mention our
field.
strengths and limits? Yes, ma'am. Just a small explanation, ma'am.
Okay, right. Um, analysis, analyze, both the words are quite same. The command with description of is that first, always, whatever it is in the question, analyze an XYZ component or whatsoever, you need to explain it with the definition, with the example. Then we're going to talk about the problems and solutions. That is issues. When we talk about the problems, we have to propose with the solution too. You cannot leave it like that. Like just like you are giving strengths, you have to tell the limitations too. Advantages, so the disadvantages too. And in the end, significance. Why those problems, why those solutions are important. Significance is not about the topic, it is about those problems and solutions. This is what actual essence of the command web description analyzes. Okay, and in the end, you
Yes.
always conclude it with a conclusion on a reference of the Harvard style.
Yes, ma'am. I understood.
Yeah. So
Thank you
first,
so
you're
much.
going to work on that, and then with the question that is strengths and limitations, 1.3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I understood. Okay.
Okay, no problem. And to the other, any issues or problem related to assignment, you may ask me right now.